What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ballhawk Ifata Melifonum of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
All right, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Monday, Lions Talk Live, and 13 days away from getting into the dance. That is the regular season for the NFL. As we all know, we sit around like kids getting ready for a Christmas present, or maybe even, I don't know, maybe Christmas or something like that. Just waiting to find out what's going to happen the next, let's be fair, 30 hours, I don't know, 40 hours, something like that, less than 2 full days away from the NFL cut line being in play. That is going to be 4 o'clock Tuesday. Everybody's got to get their rosters from 9,000 people down to 53 people. And yes, you do get, 16 spots for your practice squad, 17 if you have an international player. But whatever it is, come tomorrow, roughly 12 hours past tomorrow's show, you got to get it on down to that 53-man roster. And I fully anticipate the Detroit Lions will be as active as any team in the NFL, wheeling and dealing. Dealing, man, Brad, or whatever you want to come up with, some sort of hashtag for that. Brad Holmes is going to be cooking. He's going to be wheeling and dealing. He's going to be making deals happen. I anticipate a lot of Lions players are going to be sent off to other teams in order to acquire either draft capital or players that could potentially will make our 53-man roster. All right, before we get into the meat of the show, the main topic of the day, as you can see, we got a Lions insider who came out and talked to me this morning, giving them some, I guess, advice as far as things to watch in the stock market today. Threw me a bone in return and said, hey, here's something we're working on for a story, yada, yada, so et cetera. So we're going to pony off that and make our own story with that today, with that information. So before we get into that, as you guys know, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're about, 25 subs away from hitting 7,500. So if you could help out with that, that'd be great. Also, if you're liking the channel, the show, everything about it, consider hitting that thumbs up button, the like button, etc. Because it, as you guys probably know, if you've been on YouTube more than a New York minute, it helps the channel out exponentially. Try to get every episode between 200 to 300 or more likes, thumbs up, etc. Also, if you're looking for something to do over the course of this week and maybe you enjoy reading, please consider going to Amazon.com, or I guess you can go to eBay or other online bookstores and ordering Kajora book. You can read it. It is a historical fiction. And hey, it seems to be doing pretty well over the years that it's been on out. So it has to do a lot with Native American and Asian culture mythology. It's based on some historical events, but the story itself is not historically accurate. So just food for thought. All right, enough of that. Enough of the formalities. Let's go ahead and get into the first segment of the day. And that is, as you all probably know, 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines now. Not a lot of huge news. As you guys know, when the Lions left the field against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team was going to be off for basically 48 hours, which they are. They'll come back today. They'll get into some things. And yes, it is going to be maybe the most nerve-wracking day in a player's career. So a lot of these guys, over 50% of the team, or roughly 50% of the team, not over it, but roughly 50% of the team, when they left the playing field against the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is tough times for them because a lot of them are wondering, sitting around constantly debating, did I make the team? What about that missed tackle I did? What about that drop pass? Did I run that route right enough? Just all those kind of things. Think about all the stress on the majority of these guys during yesterday and today leading into tomorrow. That's why I am kind of happy for some NFL teams that they've already begun cuts. I mean, nobody wants to get cut, obviously. They all want to make the team, but at least there's that release of the stress and pressure on some of these guys. So because of that, there's not a lot of huge news just because there hasn't been much going on with most teams. But let's get into it. 5 headlines now, as I said. All right, NFC North preview. Packers, Bears, Vikings, and Lions in the 2024 NFL season. This is from AS USA, and they do have a pretty good breakdown of each of the teams as far as the North and their predictions for it. So, yes, you're about that time of the year where everybody and their mother is going to be putting out predictions for the NFC North, their predictions to win the Super Bowl, yada, yada, yada. You get it. Go ahead and check it out. We will be having ours out probably later this week. I wanted to get through the 53-man cut down before we start worrying about that stuff. But Dan O'Damas himself will be making a guest appearance on the show and maybe doing a little bit of a Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon, answering questions from everybody. All right, what to know about the Detroit Lions cuts ahead of Tuesday's 53-man roster deadline. This is from Yahoo Sports. They do a deep dive, and a pretty good one, of the Detroit Lions roster, the strengths, perceived weaknesses, and where they think the Lions are going to go with it. Again, it's that time of year, it's that time of the week where everybody's going to be releasing this stuff, so get ready to be inundated with it. Detroit Lions fans went wild in preseason game, making Dan Campbell eager for Rams opener. Detroit Free Press story by Jared Ramsey. I think we all get it. Most preseason games aren't sold out and aren't hitting, huge decimal levels. Detroit's game against Pittsburgh Steelers is definitely an exception to that. If you go to a lot of Pittsburgh newspapers or media outlets or whatever you want to say, they all kind of mention the same thing. It was deafening in Ford Field. If you were there, you probably understood it, but the fans very much acted like that was a regular season game. And it probably helps. It was a close game going down to the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter. A lot of excitement to be built up. Hey, Hendon Hooker, the trend's your friend. He kept playing better throughout the game. Jake Fromm just came in off the bench. Nobody knew what to expect from this kid. And hey, dude was throwing some darts out there. He was making some plays. I really liked the rollout pass and throw. I thought that was not seen coming. And, it was also not lost on the players. The players, you could see them making a lot of comments about it, just how stoked they were from the fans, the energy the fans brought. And like MCDC is saying in this story, they're fully anticipating Sunday night, opening night in the NFL, the last game of Sunday evening. Ford Field's going to be raucous. It's going to be boisterous. There are going to be people that have been preparing for the game, I'm sure, all day long. So, yes, it will probably be a very energized group. Then, of course, you add in the fact that you got Matt Stafford coming back, the Rams coming back. Yeah, there's a lot to build up to this game, and I think it is going to be a noise machine. All right, you knew this one was probably coming. Jake Bates proves Detroit Lions need another option at kicker in 2024. Sporting News story by Mike Moratis. Moratis covers the Lions regularly, as most of you are probably aware. Overall in the preseason, I don't think there's anything to really complain about with Jake Bates. But the trend is your friend. His last game against the Pittsburgh Steelers wasn't the greatest. I think that'd be a mild way to put it. Missing the 30, whatever it was, yard field goal, not ideal. There are some people, I am not among them, there are some people that say they watched the video, the placements on that field goal, and they're blaming the placeholder. I mean, I don't know, man. I haven't watched it, so again, I can't make comments on it that would be of any kind of accurate nature. But we can say with the kickoffs, that might be a worry for the Detroit Lions. Twice during that preseason game, Pittsburgh got the ball at the 40-yard line because the ball didn't go into play on the kickoff. The Lions, if they don't bring in somebody this week, I think they're saying to us they're fine with things. They probably understand going into this, he is a project. But, I mean, the guy is as close to having a cape on his chest when he's out there kicking as anybody in the NFL. He's got a leg, and I get there's a lot of strong leg kickers nowadays, but he's got a leg unlike anything I've ever seen, man. He can boot it, and he can boot it maybe from 70-plus yards. So I think they're trying to take the mindset that, hey, we're just going to develop this guy and get him to where he needs to be. Let's keep in mind, he's only been a kicker for about a year now. So we'll see what ends up shaking out with him. But if Flip really feels he can coach him up, then he's probably not going anywhere. All right, 5 Detroit Lions who did not help themselves in the preseason finale. Preseason finale, USA Today, Jeff Risden, and you guys know, friend of the show, been on here once or twice. And Def Jeff is correct with that. There are a couple of guys that didn't exactly do themselves any favors. I'm not going to do a deep dive on it. Just real quick, Donovan Peoples-Jones, probably, I'll be surprised if he makes the roster, but I think he probably hurt his chances there. Jake Bates, we already talked about. He didn't do great, but if they haven't brought in another kicker by now, they're probably not looking to move on from him. Plus, the question would be, is there anybody out there who's going to be really better than him? Stephen Gilmore, I know a lot of people are fans of him. Unfortunately, he did not have, perhaps he might have had his worst performance in a Detroit Lions uniform against the Steelers, and talking about wrong place, wrong time. Duke Clemens. So you guys have heard me since we started the preseason 53-man roster predictions. I had him up until this last one making the roster. The problem is this past weekend's performance was not good, and it was not strong enough to the point where I think he's got blown past by Kingsley, among other people. So I do think they're probably going to be moving on from him. It's unfortunate because he did play real well the first couple weeks. Now he kind of tanked. All right, James Mitchell, we didn't have him make an R53-man roster, and a large part of it was how he performed this past game. It's reality of sports that sometimes fans can turn on you, coaches can turn on you in a New York second, in a New York minute. Mitchell, I think there's a lot of talent there, but he did not look confident to me when he was running routes, trying to catch passes. He looked like a guy who was sweating bullets. My problem, if you're sweating that much bullets over potentially making the spot on the 53-man roster, what are you going to do in a key situation? Yes, maybe he'd do better, but I think, man, he needs an opportunity to just kind of calm down, right himself, whether it's here in Detroit or somewhere else. I do think he's got a lot of potential, but it doesn't matter what I think. He's got to go out there and produce it. So, all right, that's going to finish it up for 5 headlines now. Now let's get over to the NFC North news and notes. If I can get it to load. Loading. Let's try that again. So we're having a little bit of lag here on the show for whatever reason. It seems like we've been getting that a little bit more lately. I'm not sure why, but and it seems to always pass, but we seem to get a little bit. Anyway, though, let's go on to NFC North news and notes. 5 bold predictions for the Chicago Bears this season. Caleb Williams leading Chicago to playoffs as a rookie. This is Pro Football Network. And yes, they do have some predictions out there. They do have some thoughts on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears making that big leap. Could it be? I would say there is more and more people throughout the national media saying the Green Bay Packers will be very competitive in the NFC North this year. But they will finish third behind the Chicago Bears. And the spoiler, that means the Detroit Lions are winning the division. Because no, the Minnesota Vikings will not pass us by and knock us to fourth. Could it happen? Sure. Do I think you're asking a lot out of a rookie quarterback? Also sure. But in our NFC News and North notes, I think the big reason for people starting to wonder about Green Bay is led into this. Film review. Green Bay still has depth issues at offensive tackle. Palm Beach report. And you are hearing more and more things. And I don't really cover the Packers, so I got to go by what other people say. There are a lot of questions about Green Bay's offensive line. You do have a pretty good right tackle and center. Right guard and center. The tackles on both sides are not doing very well. So how would I fix this if I was the coach of the Packers? It means there'd be a whole lot of draw plays for running backs and a whole lot of 3-step drops. You got to get rid of that ball quick. You can help protect a bad offensive line, but if you're going to constantly go with 5 or 7 step drops, which most people in the league don't do 7-step drops anymore, but 5-step drops, you're going to probably have Jordan Love take some hits. Also means that the Green Bay Packers offense becomes more and more predictable. Teams overload the front 7, try to take away the quick out routes, the immediate routes. But when you do that, you do give yourself some opportunities to get burned deep. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the pack attack this year. But there could be some real opportunities for Chicago to pass them over. All right, Minnesota Vikings signed former Golden Gophers running back Mo Ibrahim, CBS Sports. And hey, Lions fans know this guy. He has signed with the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings, man, they just can't stay healthy. They've gone through a tumultuous offseason. I get it. It's we don't need to really cover it. They've had a lot of tragedy and misfortune. Hey, hopefully Ibrahim can right this ship and his career over there. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get over to today's main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the daytime. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that Lions Insider says that the Detroit Lions, and this is probably not a big news story by any stretch of the imagination. Most people, if you're a Lions fan, probably already know this one coming in, but it is going to be a slower news day until probably noon, maybe early afternoon today, when if teams are going to start wheeling and dealing, that's when I'm anticipating that will happen. Most front offices are probably checking in today around 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Also means you got to wait a couple hours for everybody to kind of get awake, everybody across the nation to check in, because remember, East Coast time, Central time, etc. differences. But you get to about noon today, that's when I'm anticipating NFL offices to start getting hit with some transaction wires. Now, either people are being flat out released, or yes, an opportunity to trade for someone. So Lions Insider says they are the best group in the NFL, no question. And this is in regards to the scouting department for the Detroit Lions. We're going to go through this, and you guys let me know your thoughts. But according to them, the Lions have up to 4 undrafted free agent rookies who have a real strong opportunity to make the 53-man roster. I think some of these guys, absolutely, I agree with. No questions asked. Kingsley Uguan, interior offensive lineman. So we were debating it yesterday on the 53-man roster. Do you have him in? Do you not have him in? Man, he was real borderline to me. Part of me wanted to keep Kingsley over Yodi, so I didn't go that route. But I think an argument could be made. You do go that route, and it's nothing against Yodi. He played well last year, but this year in the preseason, I think his plays dropped off. And now, has it dropped off enough? And does Hank Fraley think that you can get Kingsley to supersede him? I think there's a strong argument to say that Kingsley could be a long-term option for the Detroit Lions on the offensive line because his performance has been that good this preseason. It'll be interesting to see what they do in regards to him, though. So currently I have him on the outside looking in, and if he doesn't make the Lions 53-man roster, we were already talking about the Packers. I'd say half the league is not happy right now with their offensive lines. You're getting reports out of the LA Rams, the Packers, the Bears. I mean, there are so many teams that just don't have good offensive lines right now that some of the guys the Lions are going to move on from, whether they just flat out cut them or trade them, that we'll have to wait and see. We'll probably get picked up and start, or at least be real high rotational players for the Lions. So we'll see what shakes out there. Isaiah Williams, slot receiver, I think he's going to make it. I don't think there's any questions asked. I think he's going to be a Detroit Lion because his versatility. Wide receiver, special teams, kick, punt return guy. And then, yes, in an emergency situation, if you got down to your 4th quarterback on the roster, he could be that number 4 guy potentially. So is there potential that he could not make it? I don't think so. I think he's pretty much a lock. And you got to give a lot of credit to the scouting department for having addressed it, found him. And here's the other thing. He had a lot of offers from multiple different NFL teams to come sign with them. He chose the Detroit Lions. So that means the Detroit Lions did a great job selling him on his potential here. Looks like that gamble by Isaiah Williams is going to be rewarded with a roster spot. At least that's my anticipation. Isaac Ukwu coming off 2 college ACL injuries or tears, coming out of Mississippi as a senior and played a situational pass rusher role for the Rebels. You know what? He's done a lot more than I think most people anticipated he would this season, to the point where I think he might make the 53-man roster and be an active participant in game days. He'll be an active player, not someone who's deactivated. I think you see a lot of potential with this guy. Did the ACL tears help him? Potentially in some ways, but I'm not going to do a deep dive on all that. We're just going to say he's not the biggest guy. Sorry to clear my throat. He's not really a Sam, so he's kind of like a James Houston. He's not a Sam backer. He can play it in emergency situations. He's not a true starting defensive end, but he is very good at situationally getting after the quarterback. And every team in the NFL wants a guy who can get to the quarterback, especially if you're talking about, as Bo Booth would say, rotation, rotation, rotation. You need guys that can do specific things. He's one of those guys that can do that. Lauren Strickland, the defensive back. You know, Dan Campbell likes the guy. MCDC has gone out and said, man, you know, he's talked this guy up a whole lot, talked about how he's a football player. I think MCDC just loves everything about this guy. The tough part is he going to be able to make one of the six, what I'm perceiving to be 6 spots in the cornerback room to make the team? That's the tough part, and the real tough part, because it also means, man, if you're letting someone like Strickland go, you're pretty solid. So Carlton Davis is going to make it. Terrion Arnold, Rakestraw, Amik Robinson, they're all, I think, nobody's questioning that they're going to make the 53-man lineup. Kendall Vildor and Kalia Dorsey, that's the problem. Do both or one of these guys make the 53? If only one of them does, then Strickland has a chance. And if he makes it, if I had to guess out of Vildor or Dorsey, it's probably Dorsey he's beating out, but you're letting go a real good NFL cornerback. Maybe not somebody who's going to be a starting level cornerback, but somebody who's a solid piece. Sort of like we're talking about the offensive line, there being a shortage throughout the league. You're also saying the same thing for the cornerback room. If you look across the league right now, I don't think, and I don't want to give any real spoilers to my I'm doing an NFC North breakdown of who's the best players at their positions. The Lions, I think, the secondary right now, unproven until we get into the regular season and see them go through actual NFL games. I think we're pretty dang good. There might be a couple guys here and there in the North or even the NFC as a whole that are a little bit better at those positions. But if you look at the quality of the depth of the Lions DB room, it's one of the better ones in the NFL. So if you're letting someone like Strickland go, somebody else is going to snag him in a New York minute. So, all right, those are my thoughts on the undrafted guys that I think will make it. But also, again, like the thumbnail suggests, a lot of credit to the scouting department and the coaches for developing these guys. Let's see what the Do Crew has to say on all these things. So, all right, let me head on over to the comment section. I see, we've got about 80 comments in the section already, so I'm going to have to play a little catch-up here. Let's see, Michael, greetings and salutations, Dan and the Duke Crew, ! Super Bowl or a bust, one pride. Woo, woo. Good morning, Michael, and hopefully you're having a great one. See, JDC, morning all, morning to you too. Bo, what do you got? Good morning, Duke Crew, the best group on Lions Talk Live. I see Super Bowl, woo, and I agree with all the above there, Bo. Moonscar, good morning, Duke Crew, ! I feel the coffee will be strong and flowing today. There is no more try. It is time to do. I like the way you're going with that. Clark, what is shaking and baking all of you crazy kids? ? Who's ready to see some trades tonight and tomorrow? ? Me, haha. Yeah, I think you'll see a very active NFL group this morning, tomorrow, making trades, making things happen. I think you're spot on with that. Most GMs are not happy with their teams, even if the guy you're acquiring isn't actually better than somebody you're departing with. It's the idea that the belief, the faith that you're doing something. And plus, fans love this stuff. Let's be honest. This is like another draft or free agent signing for us. Good. Let's see. Big Eddie, greetings and salutations, everyone. Can I get a Sheila, coach? You know what? We can probably make that happen for you, Eddie. Here you go. 100%. John, good morning, dear crew, and same to you, John. Hopefully it is a great morning for you. Hey, man, good morning, good Monday morning, Dan and the Motley Dew crew. Woo, woo. Good morning to you, Hatman. Hopefully you're having an outstanding day. Jason, greetings, salutations to the Hallelujah Blue Kool-Aid drinking Dew crew! ! Superdome or bust, 100%. We got to get there today, my friend. Get to the Superdome. Mike the Marine, Gunny, howdy, Dan, the Lions faithful. Woo! And good morning to you, Gunny. Friends, good evening all. Enough of the talk and hype. 13 days from now, everything is real, and I can't wait. No, man, you're 100% right. You get through the holiday weekend coming up, and that's also partially why the most NFL teams, I can't speak for everybody, but the Lions will have an extended pseudo break. I think they get Friday, Saturday, and most of Sunday off before they come back in and start prepping for the Rams. Let's see, Ozzy Osbourne. Good morning, Coach Dan. Good morning to you too, Ozzy. Hopefully you're doing a great thing today. Hatman, anticipation is getting high for the cuts tomorrow, 100%. Everybody wants to see who's going to be released. Let's be honest, Lions fans are hoping that you'll see some new additions, that you have faith, new additions to the Detroit Lions come on in, that you have faith will help out at this position, that position. Lions are real deep, I think, at 4 key areas. Linebacker is one of them. I don't think it's as big a need in the NFL right now, but offensive line, defensive line, and secondary, I think you're going to see some teams try to acquire players from us. All right, broski. Good morning, Dan and Duke Crew! Exclamation point. Who is the insider you're referring to? There's a group of us that have talked for years, either on the Line app or Discord service. They're just different, messaging platforms that we, stay in contact with. A lot of guys who have stayed in journalism full time, and where I kind of departed, I don't know, a decade ago or whatever it's been. It's been a little while. How about that? I still talk to them, and just as I got more into other career paths, I still throw them some tips. They throw me some, things here and there, and it's a good symbiotic relationship. Stephanie, good morning, boys! Exclamation point. Hit that like and sub button for the Duke Crew. Hey, Coach, any updates on possible Lions pickups? Nothing that I've heard in the last 2 or 3 days or whatever. Everybody is just kind of sitting there, fingernails, clenching at the computer table, waiting to hear something, waiting to see on their phone screen or whatever that somebody's been acquired, somebody's been traded from Detroit. We'll probably know by this time tomorrow if the Lions are going to do something, or let me rephrase that. We'll know by 4 o'clock tomorrow if the Lions are going to do something. Ozzy, good morning. Do you think we are going to try to get an X receiver from another team? If so, who do you think? I do think we are going to try to acquire one. That's my personal opinion. Who it is, I think that's the $1 million question. I think there's a lot of people being speculated on, and some of the guys, I can't even remember their names. I mentioned, I think, last week there's a Chiefs receiver I know they talked about. He's like 6'3" or 6'4". He's real wiry, not big built. Somebody needs to get that kid a few sandwiches. I don't know. And then there was somebody from the Giants too. I can't remember that kid's name either, but I haven't heard anything firm on that Ozzy Osbourne. It's just all speculation, as you would probably guess. All right, Hatman, good morning, Stephanie Wilder, 100%. Jess, good morning, all. At Broski Bear, who knows, but Dan does have a lot of press friends. I do, just from over the years. Even some he's had in the channel from the Freep and M Live. Correct, yep. Every once in a while I get some of those guys to hop on in. I try not to burden them all the time with it, but some of them, I've been surprised. Some of them really I think it's something internally with the company they work for where they don't want them hyping on other channels information. They want to keep it all in-house. So I get it. If you work for McDonald's, you don't want to be over at Burger King selling, products. So I get that, man. All right, let's see. John, what do you got? Did anybody out there catching the games that were on yesterday? I did not get much of a chance yesterday. We're doing some stuff for the kiddo. She's got another week here, so try to focus on that. Well, I'm sure a lot of you guys did watch it. John, catch on not catching. There you go. Let's see. Mr. Nico, good morning, Coach and crew. Is anyone else ready for the season and a potential championship? We went from hope to destiny real quick. Let's flipping go. 100%, Mr. Nico, and I'm with you. I think everybody out there is chomping at the bit for the season to get going. One question I want to throw at you guys. I also threw it at a bunch of the Lions content creators. If anybody's got a streaming service that they want to recommend to me that they feel, hey, you can watch Lions games on it and there's just no delay, please throw that out at me because I like mine. It's fine, but I have noticed from doing some of the live casts with you guys, I would say 30, maybe 40% of you guys, say that I'm about 10 seconds behind you guys. And I know there's no perfect answer for things, man, unless you probably have cable, because like Main Street Pub that I go to, half their TVs are on cable. And yeah, there's about a 30-second difference between those and the ones that are on satellite. So if you guys have any ideas, throw them at me because I am considering trying to upgrade and get up maybe something with a little bit more speediated connection. See, Jason, at John, I was planning on watching replays today, commercial free. There you go. Darcy, good morning, all. Right, Jess. Like when he was saying during Mike Steele's broadcast how Goff was dressed, Gibbs and Sam were on the field warming up pregame stuff. Dan seems to have some contacts in media. Yeah, I was on Mike's show and trying to pass some things over. I know I sent him some pictures and some updates. Some of my, cohorts or whatever will throw me information and stuff like that. And I don't mind sharing it because it doesn't get anybody in trouble. John, yeah, I was looking forward to seeing you too. So I guess I'll be doing the same thing. Jason, there you go. Trey, what's good all? Question mark. I'm wondering what Brad has cooking this week for us and them and for the team. Question mark. Anyone with guesses? That I don't. We're just going to wait and see what happens there, Trey. Hopefully you're having a great day, my friend. Papa Noel, good morning to all. Same to you. Quentin, greetings and salutations, y'all, at Darcy. So I remember when Dan was a sports dude on Channel 8 back in the day. Man, that's some time ago, though. Yeah, that is a throwback. That's going back to the 90s. But yeah, you used to be a sports beat reporter on TV8. Wood TV8. Let's see. Voltron Force, good morning, everyone. Are we still thinking the team keeps 4 receivers? Right now, I think that's where they're going to go because you got St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Khalif Raymond, and I think the 4th right now to be a lock is Isaiah Williams. Beyond that, I don't think they're going to keep anybody just because they're going to look to acquire somebody else. I do anticipate at the minimum we're going to have 5. I could be totally wrong, but that's my guess, and I think the 5th one is not currently a Detroit Lion. See, John, hey, Trey, anything and everything will be on the grill. 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, all options are open. John Voltron, that would be nice. 100%. See, Jason, Realtor, Sports Dude, Podcaster, Investor, Coach. Is there anything Dan cannot do? Grow taller. That's the easy answer. Yeah, I have not grown since I was 12 years old. So I once upon a time, everybody thought I was going to be like 6 foot something. I was going to be a dominating post player. Let me tell you, that changed real quick. Perryman, greetings and salutations, do crew, from the tip of the mitt. There you go. All grit, all day, one pride. Woo! And hopefully a great day for you, Perryman. Enjoy the Yoop. Let's see. Gunny, what do you got? Question. When a Lions player sits out of third preseason game, that assumptions are made about him being safe to make the 53-man roster. However, maybe it's a trade in place so he doesn't get injured. That is possible on different teams for sure. They could keep guys safe from injury settlements and all that by keeping him on the sidelines trying to work a trade for him. 100% accurate with that, Gunny. See, David, anyone betting if From beats out Nate? I think a lot of people would prefer From to beat out Nate. It's just, and you guys know it. I did the 53-man roster, my last one yesterday. I don't really think Nate Sudfeld should be on the team, but the coaching staff talks about him so superlatively that I think he's going to make it just because they have that kind of faith in him. Sort of like Tim Boyle. I guess that'd be a strong comparison. All right, Moonscar, Gunny, could be 100%. Man Bear, I'm hoping there was a way to keep Jake from State Farm. I hope so too, man. I hope so. I think if he goes on the waiver wire, there'll be some teams that will probably look at him. Whether or not they'll pick him up, that I guess we'll wait and see. I know some of you guys messaged me yesterday about Mike White being released from the Miami Dolphins. He could be an option too. He has started some games and looked good in the NFL. He's pretty young too. Just whether or not they're going to bring him in. I think if they bring in somebody outside as a quarterback, it's going to be somebody with a lot of vested veteran experience. See, John, boom, boom. There goes out goes the lights, 100%. Man Bear, good morning. Back at you. Sosimo, let's keep Jake 100%. Start that chant. Keep it, make him happen. See, Moonscar, Dave Bing, many are wishing, but somehow I doubt it. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. AJ, good morning. Back at you. John, the rest of the league will be riding the storm out. They might have to, man. They might have to because we're coming for them. Hooker time. Morning. Good morning, brothers. Goff and Hooker only. Then put From on the practice team. That could be. And that could. I would not be upset with that by any stretch. Courtney, Jake showed some cool under fire. Short time, good results. So real quick about this. One of the things I do like about Jake From is the fact that in college, he performed at a high level, under pressure, under duress. You can't teach that stuff. That's something you have got to acquire through your high school or collegiate career. What do you do and how do you do it under pressure when the lights are the brightest, when somebody's barreling down to try to smash you into the ground? Can you read that defense, make the adjustments and the appropriate throw all in 2 seconds or less? Most human beings cannot do that. Jake From, I like what I saw out of him and how quickly he picked things up. Because let's keep in mind, he's only been here a week, something like that. So he looked cool, calm, and collective. And again, me as a scout, I want to find information on people that I can't acquire just watching film repeatedly. That's something that you think you see live when you watch him going to the huddle, looking over the sidelines for the play, and then how he conducts himself with guys in that huddle. These are things I would be watching as a scout because the cameras don't show it. Most of the time when you watch review tape or whatever replays, you can't see these things. But when you do watch it live, those should be things, especially from a quarterback, you're paying attention to like it was a $1 million winning lotto ticket, because that's going to tell you a lot of information on that guy. All right, Perryman. Deep thoughts on Jack with Jack Hanley. Next year, I see Ben Johnson as head coach somewhere else. Brodell moves to offensive coordinator, and Sudfeld gets wide receiver coach. That could all be 100% there. John, remember the future is uncertain and the end is always near. It is. It's always coming for someone. See, Perryman, I mean quarterback coach. Maybe he can double dip and do both. Mike the Marine Gunny, agree with you, Hooker Time? Yes, I do. See, 9 Drinks, good morning, Duke Crew, back at you. John, I'll go with that too, man. Boat door is wide open, 100%. Detroit D, greetings, salutations, everyone. Good morning to you, D. Hopefully you have an outstanding one. Courtney, good morning, Dr. Detroit, or Detroit D. There we go. Detroit D, the season is here, and we begin our journey to the Super Bowl. Let it begin. Get your, man, I can't say VCRs, but whatever you're going to record the games with, record all that stuff, man, because I think it's going to be a magical year for us, man, 100%. See, John, Alligator, there you go. 9 Drinks, there's going to be a lot of moves today. I think so. The next 2 days, man, we should see a gluttony of moves across the NFL. See, Stephanie, OMG, I never would have put that together, Quentin, laughing out loud. That was him. Okay. See, Dan Green, salutations all. I was at the game Saturday, and it was electric. You couldn't tell it was a preseason game at all. The fans were put, and it showed. Yeah, and you heard people from both teams talk about that. And for a preseason game, that's what made it even more outstanding, like you pointed out there, Dan. See, Dave, what do you got? Good morning, all. Last prediction as to who makes the team at edge. I think Ukwa may have made the roster. I do too, man. I'm with you on that. I think he's got some outstanding talent and upside. This coaching staff, when it comes to the backups, there's a lot of raw players, and they seem to do it every year where, hey, we got our sound, core group of guys, but now who's going to back them up? Somebody who's already hit their peak, or somebody who's got a lot of ability that we've got to help get there and will supersede the other guy. That's where I think you're spot on with that, man. I think Ukwas, man, he hasn't scratched his ceiling yet. He's still got a ways to go. But him, I mean, heck, Sorsdale, even though I do wonder if Sorsdale is going to make it, or if they're going to keep Jones. I really like Jones. But this team is filled with the Broderick Martin types, the Ife Melifanu types, the guys that have more upside, but they need more time to grow. So I'm with you, David. All right, see, J Mo, what do you got? Good morning, Lions fans. Woo! Super Bowl. Woo! And good morning to you, too. See, Man Bear, good morning, 9 Drinks. Phil, greetings and salutations. Back at you. Man Bear, Detroit D, good morning, 100%. Jameer, greetings, salutations this AM. I hope Betts makes the 53. Right now, I've got him on the outside looking in, making the practice squad. But you never know, man. He does have some real good stuff about him. He might make the 53. So good morning. 14-3. I'll go with that. Manberg, hey, Phil, there you go. Bo, 14-3. Manberg, Phil. I got you, man. I figured that's where you're going with it. 9 Drinks, 15-2. Now, man, we got some good seasons going here. Let's see, Detroit D, good morning, Manberg. All right, Manberg, good morning. JP, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew, Coach Dan, same to you. Hopefully that's a great one. Carl, good morning to all Lions about to rock. I salute you. And for all those about to rock, we salute you too. All right, Manbear, good morning. JP. Coach Rock, good morning. All just waiting on the roster to be set, and then the real games begin. Woo! 100%. You know what? Just for you guys, because it's been a minute. There we go. And I even get to clear my throat. All right, Joseph C., good morning. Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Exclamation points. Go Lions. Can't wait to see what the defensive line is going to look like with DJ Reader, Marcus Davenport, Aiden Hutchinson. Yes, all the above, and don't forget Aleem McNeil, but I think we're going to put some pressure on some people. I still think we're going to be Blitzburg, the Silver Rush, coming after people left and right, looking to bury teams. I think Aaron Glenn is on the mindset, we can't stop every team from going down the field repeatedly. The NFL rules are just too in favor of the offense. But what we can do is we can get a lot of accumulating shots on that quarterback. Hit them every, couple plays. Keep them rattled. Keep them, a little confused. Change the looks. Where's the blitz coming from? Who's dropping? Who's going? Make it as difficult for 4 quarters on an opposing quarterback as possible. And yes, when you look at our division, we've got some younger quarterbacks. Maybe some abilities in them for sure, but do they have the experience? Win your division first, then set up your seeding for the playoffs. If you can do that, you got a chance to really make a good run. I think that's what we're going to do. I will not be surprised this year if we lead the league, or at least we'll say the top 3 or 5 in amount of quarterback hits and pressures. And what happens when you start getting pressure? People make mistakes. Some passes get tipped. They get fluttering. They hang in the air too long. They're a little bit behind, a little bit in front, and they get picked off and go for pick sixes. So, we'll save some of this for the prediction show later this week. Man Bear, I'd be good with 13-4. We'll go with that. Joseph, hey, Coach, I was on my way to work this morning. Finally got me a decent job starting today, but I was wondering, do you know where Nealon went? I do not know. I do not know offhand. I'd have to check on that, but I'll see what I can find there, Joseph. And by the way, like the picture in the thumbnail. Derek, good morning, Coach and crew. Hooker can run for more yards than Sudfeld can pass for. That's also probably true. I just want to keep seeing that Hooker keeps getting time to develop. I think we've got something there with the kid. I don't want to worry about his age because you know what? Warren Moon, Kurt Warner, and there's been 50 other dudes who have been made it to the Hall of Fame that came to the league later in life than he did. But what you do have there, do you have arm talent and size? Yes, you do. Do you have, he has clear ability to learn and progress. He's shown development already. So his upside's pretty high. It's just using something from the Green Bay Packers, maybe take some time to develop him instead of rushing him out there. We'll see where he goes in time, but I think we've got a real weapon there budding. And you know what? If you get something really out of a third-round pick that's going to got strong future returns, I think you did great in the draft then. John, that week, woo, cracks me up. Yeah, from Skip. Yeah, 100%. It's so weak that it's almost perfect, right? It works so well because of it. See, Joe, don't forget Aleem. 100%. I got you there. Joseph, I forgot. I think, I forgot. I think somebody on here told me that he went to the Raiders the other week, so my bad. Yeah, it could be, man. Offhand, I do not know where he went. Big Daz, good morning, Coach and DC. Yeah, and who are we going to snag from another team? That's the $1 million question right now. We're going to have to wait and see, Big Daz. But you know what? We'll know by tomorrow evening. See, David, good morning. All Lions go 14-3. Best to all from Arizona. All right. Well, hey, good morning in Arizona. Hopefully it's not going to be too hot for you today. Gunny, on ESPN transaction wire list Green Bay and the Lions signing an international kicker. Hear anything? I did not, but it doesn't mean that something didn't happen overnight that I missed. See, Bo, keep your eye on a contract dump from another team. There could be some of that for sure. See, Kurt, what up, though, Duke Crew? What up to you, too, Man of Steel? John, 14-3 works for me. Hetman, what up, though, Kurt? Trump's no nuclear waste in Bellevue. All right, we'll go with that. Let's keep the waste out of there. See, Kurt, the Hetman, what up, though? Moonscar, hey, Kurt Steele. Got my pregame over on the BUBU channel this morning. Okay. Let's see. Hooker Duke, good morning, Duke Crew. Woo! All right, and back at you. Trumps, woo! Jason, Kurt Steele is in the house going to work with his blue wrench to make some dough, though. There you go. You keep him. Kurt Steele's helping out. Him, Phil, and there are others. See, Derek, I think Houston has earned his spot. 8 to 10 sacks this year is what I see. I do too. I think he's going to make it, but I've been surprised before. Air Force, Matt, what do you got? Good morning from Highland, Illinois. Hopefully having a great morning, my friend. Let's see. Air Force, Matt. Woo! Them kids, all right? Boo them kids. All the above. All the above. Brian, if Jared Goff how to play behind that line for 3 weeks, he'd be on the bubble. Yeah, if Jared Goff had to play behind the second and third stringers, that's a possibility. Thankfully, he should not have to. See, Carl, Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings, as you see it. Okay. All right. Trump's not toxic waste near the world's largest source of fresh water. Good morning, all Okay. Yeah, let's keep the waste out there. I'm down with you that. See, Coach Rock laughing out loud about the fans. It was their preseason warm-up, and they made the cut. Would hate to play in Detroit now, defending. I'm with you there, Rock. I think, man, the Rams, obviously they saw last year in the playoffs. They're going to work on some stuff this week and next week to try to prepare for it as much as you can. But at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. If you can't make line adjustments, as good of a veteran quarterback as Stafford is, opening week, there's more possibility for miscommunications, mishaps, etc. It's a good setup for the Lions, especially with their the Rams left tackle going to miss the game, starting left tackle. I haven't had updates on or looked for updates on Jonah Jackson, maybe some of you guys know, but we'll see what happens. See, JP Houston is a one-trick pony, but he's a heck of a trick, and that is in demand of the NFL. Yeah, guys who can get to the quarterback in a hurry, that's where he's going to make his bread and butter, probably for several seasons in the league. I'd say Air Force Fox can kick kickoffs. Yeah, that might be where they end up going with things. Just keep Bates to the extra points and field goals. Let's see, Ronald, they will put a kicker on the practice squad. They just might, and I think they probably will look into something like that. I'd say Ronald, Donovan Peoples-Jones, very disappointing. Is there something else going on with him? Not that I know of. Some of you guys might have some information. Throw it in the comments section. Rocky, hopefully Bates was just kicking it short, trying to give coverage team a chance to work it out, and now hopefully he will kick it out of the end zone. They, Rock, that may just be where they go. They say, hey, whatever it is, if you kick it out of the end zone, you get it at the 30, just go ahead and blast that thing. Yes, you give up 5 yards, but you don't risk giving up more than that. Plus, you don't have to worry about special teams as much. So that could actually be just what they do. Let's see, Derek Summers looked good. He'll make the practice squad. I think so. And it's going to be between him and Bo Plan. I think it's a real battle there to see who makes that final linebacker spot. Anthony, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you. Broski, I'm not sure the last preseason game determines much of anything. The coaching staff knows who they want on the team before the last preseason game. They might be 1 or 2 spots that aren't locked. Yeah, MCDC said whatever he did, like 4 spots were still open. So I think you're pretty spot on with that, Broski. Moonscar, agree 100%. Kurt, Broski Bear, welcome back. Anthony, good morning, Anthony. Hookadoo, good morning, Anthony. Trump's Stephen A. Smith. All right, let's move on from that. All right, Broski, great prediction by Pro Football Network! Exclamation point. Great to see you have a picture of Caleb on your NFC North notes page. Maybe he might be up there on that for sure. Anthony, good morning, brother Hookadoo. Let's see, Trump's good morning, Bear. Anthony, good morning, Mr. Steele. Broski, Kurt Steele, Kurt the Hitman Steele. How are you doing? There you go. Trump's Genius, good morning. Ferryman, Bo Nix does better than Caleb Williams this year. That it could be, man. Caleb Williams is going to have some pressure on him. How the rookie quarterbacks will do, wait and see with all of them. JDC getting rolling. The D, go Lions, 100%. John, hey coach, when did you start Lions Talk Live? I love this site and the best bar none. Hey, thanks for that. I would say it's the year that the Lions had the strong finish. We started 1-6 and then finished whatever it was 9-8. That was the season I started. Coming back from the Seattle game where we lost. Yeah, that was a tough one. Some friends of mine were all on like a bus taking us back to Kalamazoo. And, we're just sitting there and somebody said, you should get back in reporting. You should start a YouTube channel. So I just grabbed my phone and just for fun, I did a video and it did well. So I was like, all right, I'll do one the next day. And that's kind of how it went. Let's see, Kurt Steele, Broski Bear. I'm good. Busy morning. Good, always a busy morning, man. You work hard. See, Joseph, what did you think about Sutton making that lucky interception? The pass was good. The receiver just couldn't catch the ball. Hey, right place, right time. That's really all I thought about Sutton. And he's been under a lot of stress, as we are all probably aware, for about 6 months now. I'm sure for him, that was a feel-good moment. So I wish him nothing but the best. I don't know all the particulars of the situation. My guess is none of us do. So I don't want to rush to judgment on anything. So let's just hope for all parties involved, things move forwardly in a good manner for all of them. See, Joseph, it was like he was dying on that Ford field. Yeah, he was pretty stoked at that moment. Anthony, all I know is I made the 53-man roster, as you should, my friend. You should make it. See, Anthony Decker reported. I'll go with that. Phil, good original broski. Welcome. Good morning, David. Hopefully, St. Brown gets released. Maybe you mean the other St. Brown. Yeah, the brother. That could be. I know he had an opportunity to sign with Detroit, but Detroit, for whatever reason, did not sign him. So who knows, man? See, Derek, now we're going to see the NFL version of the Black Friday. Yeah, everything's going on sale today. We'll see what shakes out. See, Broski, Phil, good morning. Phil, yep, I'm not sure what that is. Phil, how was church yesterday? Blessed, I hope. Phil, Broski, Phil, it was great. Like a giant hug every time I go. Thanks for asking. Yeah, church, good place, 100%. Trump's maybe Donovan Peoples-Jones was holding back to avoid injury. Let's hope he knew what he was doing then. Phil, amen, brother. Mr. Ed, what do you got? Good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Just enjoying the chat. Hey, I'm glad you're just here enjoying it. See, Hatman, come on, people, smash that like button. Yes, if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Also, hit that thumbs up button. Don Broski is in here in the best behavior, laughing out loud. I catch him in Bears chats every time in the book, besides of Child of God. Thanks, Phil. Kurt Hutch Jr., etc. Yeah, we got a few moderators, and some of them you guys probably haven't even seen yet because they don't put comments in the sections. Phil, yeah, Pound Don, there you go. Anthony, wow, I mean, be nice, but geez, sleeping with the enemy. What's the next? Going down on one knee and take one for the team, Wrenchman. We'll see. Uncle Buzz, you should get Dr. Leo as a guest. That's not a bad idea, getting a medical specialist or someone like that to come on to talk about injuries when they happen. So not a bad idea at all, Uncle Buzz. See, Trump's I love freedom of speech. Who does not? Who does not? Let's see. Gary, good morning, all. Grit for life! Exclamation points. Hey, Coach, I think your boy Houston is safe. I'm hoping so, man. I'm really hoping so. I think Betts will be gone, and Houston has proven he is in the league, more in the league than Ukwa, however you spell it. Yeah, I think Ukwa and Aguye plus Houston, I think they're all going to potentially make the roster. Phil, like a second draft? Yes, it really is. It really is. Don, I love respect. Who does not, man? See, Bo, today just another Manic Monday. Yes, it is, my friend. See, JDC, I love freedom. Yes, it's a lot better than the opposite. 313, what do you got? Will the Lions make any moves, trades, etc.? I'm anticipating they will, but, I mean, we're going to have to wait to see. I think we're going to look to acquire some things, or let me rephrase that. Some of the parts we're going to move on from, some of the guys we're going to cut that have real good value, I think we're going to look to trade. See, Broski, Anthony Kime, do you see trying to get out of your emotional need jerk bets? I'm holding you to them. There you go. Let's see, Don, Anthony, it's hilarious. Anthony, seriously, this channel has turned into the Broski show. I don't think so. I think Broski, for the most part, has been calm today. There are other days he gets a little out of hand, but is that him and the other guy impersonate him? That could be. That's also what the moderators are policing. Any please, nobody trying to get out of anything. There you go. Pearman, is there a limit to how many draft picks we can acquire? I think there actually is a limit to how many you can have per season. I just don't ask me to what that number is. I don't recall off the top of my head. Let's see. Ken Green Sanitation's Dan the Duke Crew, is the cut waiver claim process in the same order as the latest draft? It is. Picking 29th again. Woo! Yeah, so it's the same as the draft right now. Now, once the season starts happening, you have results. That's when it changes. But as of today or tomorrow, I guess, before 4 p.m., it will be the same as that. Great. Any cut or let go? Not yet. Not yet. But I'm anticipating we'll have some news later today or tomorrow. See, Anthony, I'm just wondering what that wrench guy going to swallow. We'll see. Kurt, I'm here just doing chores in the background. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Get them done. John, Thunder, Lightning, baby. Oh, yes. There we go, John. Silver Server, good morning, Coach, and everyone. Back at you. Anthony, hug out. All right. Don, I think Terrence Marshall Jr. will be a line. Just give me credit when it happens, not some insider. Well, you'll do just that, Don. We will give you credit when that happens. Say, Kurt Steele, Silver Server, what up, though? Clark, 13 days, exclamation point. Time for hype is done. Put on your big boy pants and kick some Rams butt, 100%. And let's hope we do kick the Rams. I think I've got us winning by a significant amount, but we'll see what Dan O'Damas predicts later this week. Don, Kurt, do you do your chores early? Geesh, laughing out loud. There you go. JDC, John Leaner, thumbs up. See, Michael, Lions going to take over the 72 Dolphins undefeated season and win the Super Bowl 2024. Oh, yeah. I'm going to hold you to that there, Michael. Perryman, Broncos put on a show. Yes, they did. Jeff Holmes will be on the phone with the Texans. They are loaded at wide receiver. Yeah, there's a couple teams, Jeff, that have a real good depth at wide receiver. Those are the teams I'm anticipating we'll do some chats with. Kurt, Don Burr playing catch up from last night. Plus, Monday is trash day. All the above, get it done. JDC, I have bad juju about the Dallas game. Well, we'll see what we can do to change that opinion before then. Don, got Kurt to chat. Boss up 100%. 100%. Trump's, 10 on TV is the fastest. That could be. I will have to look into that. John, I do believe. Okay. Ken, another note. I'm a member of the All 22 Film Patreon crew. I let it be known that you are trying to reach out to him and get him on Lions Talk Live. Yeah, thanks for that, man. If you hear anything back, let me know. Thanks, Ken. Kurt, yes, sir, Don Burr. Broski, how you doing? Hey, I'm going to be doing well here in about, we'll say a half hour. Hit the gym and then get my morning dew before starting the trading day. So you can reach out to him. Thank you for that. Kurt Steele, live chat is back today for the Boss Up, Ball Out podcast. There we go. So, hey, when we're done here, everybody hop on over to the Boss Up, Ball Out podcast. Ken, Kurt Steele, what up, though? Don, Terrence Marshall Jr. will be a line. He's just in a bad situation. 6'2", 4.4 speed, former second-round pick. He will cost us maybe a 6, only 24 years old. I like the way you're thinking there, Don. Anthony Ken, I watch daily. Moonscar, Trump's agree 100%. Antenna is easily fastest than cable and streaming. Yeah, just I get might have to try to look into making that happen. See, Thomas, bigger wide receiver disappointment. Down on Peoples-Jones, he cannot get separation. That's probably true, and I would agree with it, Thomas. Bo, I'm looking forward to that. Kurt, he's a boss. Woo! We'll go with that. Let's see. Kurt, Ken Mahomes, what up, though? Kurt, Bo Booth, woo! John, the rest of the league will have to be riding out the storm. Yes, they will. Hookadoo, some antenna TV every Saturday night. There you go. Same antenna TV every Saturday night. Eric, what up, though? Go Lions. Woo! You know what? And thank you for that, Eric. Hopefully having a great day. Bo, Electric Light Orchestra. John, all right. Joseph C., that's cool of you, Coach, that to do that. We should help you out getting that, or I will always when I get my first check. Yeah, I'm just doing what I can. Just I enjoy watching it, and if I can do a live cast and be as on time with things as possible, I'll see what I can do to speed it up. Because I have noticed, like I said, there's probably about half you guys that are behind me, and then another half that are slightly ahead of me. So I'm somewhere right in the middle. Ken, let's see. Keep Jake on the 53 wave suds, the 2 practice squad. Yeah, I don't think Jake's in any danger. That's my opinion, of course. Moonscar, Mike White looked good in starts for the Jets, the franchise with the longest playoff appearance drought. I say bring him in and take a look. Yeah, they might just do that. See, Broski, Lions will most likely sign a defensive end who is cut. They need to focus on improving that weak spot. I think we're pretty good at defensive end. I mean, I could be totally wrong, misreading the room, but I think we're pretty actually good and deep there. Jeff, I had my fantasy draft yesterday, and St. Brown and Laporta. You got the St. Brown and Laporta. Let's go. Woo! And good luck to you on your fantasy season. Chuck E. Cheese, good morning, Coach Nduku. Love the quarterback room, 100%. Let's see, Mark, cut the long snappers. Free up a roster spot, sign a practice squad. I've often wondered, would teams start trying to free up a spot by getting rid of the long snapper and just develop one of the offensive linemen for that spot? Because really, you are so niche with that one spot. I don't know. I could also see the day coming where a punter or a kicker does both duties too. John Hookadoo, me too. See, Don, Lions getting T. Marshall, not a defensive end, a wide receiver who is big-bodied, has speed and potential. Book it. It's being booked. Chuck E. Cheese, rip to Ravens OC or O-line coach. One of them passed, I heard. Yes, I saw that yesterday, and thoughts and prayers for his family, for sure. Say, Joseph, here lately, I've heard them talking about from M. Okay. Let's see, JDC Magic 8 Ball says Lions Super Bowl, question mark. Heck yeah, exclamation point. I'll go with that. Let's see, Motown Mitch, greetings, salutations, coach from Duke Crew. Lions rule, Bears drew. Woo! Hit that like button. Almost 200 more viewers than yesterday. Yes, we have got about 700 and something total from all platforms. There was one show this week. We had like almost 1,200 watching live. Yesterday morning, I want to say we had about 800 watching live. So you can see the season's getting closer and closer because the viewer count pops up. Hey, man, I'm really enjoying that Ty Summers makes it, hoping that Ty Summers makes it. Loved his press conference. Yeah, he had some good quotes. Quote machine. Can go Lions, exclamation point. Hope they bring back the inside the draft room edition they had last year. Loved watching that. Yeah, I think they probably will in time. Just in time. Eric Jamo is going to have a big year. I agree with that, 100%. I think he will. Brosi Don Burra, not a bad take, but they might let TMJ play out his rookie contract since they brought in Canales. TMJ is truly an enigma in Charlotte. Nobody knows what to think about him. Yeah, that's could be true. Okay, yeah, John, same here. Don, I don't see them bringing in inside the den draft behind the scenes edition. The season is here. They had all summer to show it. Yeah, that's another good point too. Ken, looking forward to the aggressive in your face defense this year. Me too. That's the type of defense and offense I prefer. I don't like nickel and diamond. I want to go for it on every play. See, Joseph From was congratulating everybody that made a catch and stuff and going and patting them on the helmet. I love that about him and, slapping him on the back. Yeah, he's, you could see he's done all that before as a leader, so it translated to that game for sure. Joseph, that was something none of the backups, other backup quarterbacks did. Yeah, he's, again, he's been a leader before. He knows how to rally a team, how to get guys, hyped up. Ken, most teams turn over about 1/3 of their roster each year. Could we see that number drop drastically in the coming years as this roster develops and more and more rookies? Could we see a smaller drafts? It could be that we trade away stuff to keep guys. We'll have to see what happens in the future. All right, a couple more, and then getting out of here for the Boss Up, Ball Up podcast. So let me scan for some people that haven't been on so much. Carl, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid by the keg, 16-1. I'll go with that. Server, hello, Mr. Steele. All right, Andrew, what do you got? Are you related to Craig Thornton? He was my coach. Not that I'm aware of. Doesn't mean that I'm not, though. Antoine Hughes, go Lions, 100%. Let's see. Anybody else here? Mark, Kurt Steele, exactly. It's the numbers game. It always is. James, good morning, Dan. Woo! Where's Jalen Reeves-Maben at? Haven't heard anything about him. I think he makes the team. It's just I don't think they're putting him out there in most situations during the preseason. A Vapor, wow, I almost made it for the right time. Good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Whoop! Lions win the Super Bowl 2025. I'm down with that. John, dang spell check. I can agree. Gets me all the time, man. Dimitri, good morning, Dan and Lions fam. Woo! Good morning to you too. James, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. Yes, pretty pleased with Mountain Dew on top. Joseph, so players that go on the practice squad, no other team can pick up. You can protect for the rest of the, whatever it is, 12 or 13 guys are up for grabs. John, thumbs up that thumbs up. There you go. Dimitri, Don Burr, what up, though, Detroit fam? Eric Rancy, if you come down to a game, I've got a parking spot for you. Thanks for that. Thanks for the morning content. Live next to the stadium. Hey, when we do get the Dew Crew meetup, I'm going to try to do a broadcast there from it. So everybody's just got to be on their best, whatever behavior while on air. See, Brent, good greetings, salutations, Dew Crew. My prediction for our defensive line of destruction versus Stafford, pain. Oh yeah, good Mr. T quote there. Let's see, anybody else? It hasn't really been on. I'm scanning. Air Force Matt, what do you got? Good morning from Highland, Illinois. Good morning to you too. Let's see, a couple more here. Rose, what do you got? Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Caleb Williams will be injured in Game 8. That's what I'm dreaming about. You might be right with that. Arrogancy, Lions said they are doing the draft edition this year. They aren't doing the draft edition this year. Thank you for that. Rose, what's going on with Iffy? There's something that is strange holding on. So Coach Dan did deeper into this about he is injured. What the injury is, I do not know just yet. So working on it. Dennis, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew, back at you. Rose, Broski Bear, you must be dreaming about that boy is yours, but you will see that he will be a buzz. There you go. All right, let's get you guys on over. I think that's about everybody there. We've got everybody on the show that we can get on the show because I've read their comments or shown them. All right, guys, if there is some sort of breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as quick as I can. Hopefully you have a great day. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Do something for someone you don't know. Be a good human. And we'll see you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until